This is Bush the Geek. We are on after we just saw Star Wars. Okay, first and foremost, we are going to spoil the shit out of this podcast.
But we're not posting it till
Wednesday
a
or
week later.
Thursday. Yeah.
So
Yes.
you have been warned.
If you don't want to listen, stop now.
You're listening to this right now. You've had plenty of time.
To hit stop or hit the home button.
We're about to give
Or
our
watch the movie.
We're about to give our full, honest review of The Force Awakens.
It's about to go down.
Alright, so no introductions. We're all here. You all know us. If you listen to us, you know our voices. So, what?
Where do
Did we just do ratings? Like,
Okay,
we had a rating?
just go around the room.
Let's just go around the room and
What'd you think?
Quick,
Summary.
quick what you think.
Start-
We'll start. We'll go back.
Let's start with the lengthiest person.
We'll go with Chris.
Chris.
Start with Chris.
I give it an 8.
Well, why? Just a brief little summary. Why?
There was just a lot of no's in that whole movie. I mean, overall, it was a good film. I loved it. It made me smile in a lot of parts, and the new characters are great. I was kind of hesitant on some characters being introduced, but I thought all of them were really good.
I wanted to say the same thing.
Really?
I wanted to say the same thing. Like,
Let him finish.
Okay.
Let him finish.
Anyways,
I almost threw this at him. It was like an impulse.
but I enjoyed all the new characters and them with all the older characters and all the nods and stuff, but I want to say my biggest thing was Rey learning the Force that much and being able to fight.
Summary, bro.
Okay, we're just going into that.
Summary, bro.
I'm sorry, man.
Wrap
This
it up.
is-
This is
you
like
guys
a rating.
I mean, damn.
What?
He's so
Jeez, lengthy
Summary.
guy.
All right, Chris is done. Cody.
Also, well, I'm gonna get started here, but also, did you say no's? Like, you just mean like a lot of predictable things, or did you mean like no's? Just curious. I've never heard that.
Or like things that you
So
say
this
no
movie,
to.
okay, my ratings. Fuck this, dude. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I spent this whole week getting ready for it. Watched all of them, did the machete order, all that good stuff. That formula. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because I loved it. Huge smiles on my face, like. I mean, when's the last time you've been to a theater, man, and you just fucking bust out clapping for stuff?
And you were hyped up.
Yes, and you're just hyped about it.
But not
oh
just
my
once,
God.
though.
Not
It was
just
like
once.
17
times.
Oh, yeah,
Like
the whole
six-
theater, the whole time.
I'm not going to go into the specifics yet. I'll wait until we get this ratings out the way. But
right.
there is stuff I want to comment on.
Matt.
I'm going to go ahead and say 10. And I say 10 because, yes, there are faults. I could give it a 9. I could give it an 8. I could bitch about some things. But even the things that I want to bitch about made me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the predictability, but the predictability was perfect.
It was perfect.
It just felt so comforting.
It was like watching the first one again.
It was like,
But it wasn't so much that it was just a repeat of the first one. And you're going to hear a lot of that online. You're going to hear a lot of it's a repeat of the first one.
Comparisons.
That recipe works. If
It
I
does.
go to a restaurant that I enjoy and I have this one thing that I fucking love eating, they better get it right every time.
Every time. Yes.
Brooks.
I had somebody text me and said, "What would you give it 1 out of 10?" I said like 804. You know what? Yeah, there were things that we talked
So
about.
a 10.
We talked about on the outside of the theater. We try to be real quiet, but all of us are really having a hard time containing what we're feeling right now. And, fuck predictability. Fuck. So what? It was like the first. Whatever. It was awesome.
Yes.
I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, they're like I'm with Matt, man. They're flaws, whatever. But I almost pissed myself because I was not leaving the theater. if the movie had lasted 5 more minutes, I'd have been showing up at the podcast with a giant piss stain on myself.
At the end, I didn't know if I was tearing up because I didn't want to blink or because I was so emotional.
And I told these guys too, if I wasn't with all of y'all, if I was by myself, oh yeah, I'd have cried 3 times.
Right.
A good
Right.
solid 3 times. I'd have cried. I choked it in because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to have Cody and
My
Kevin make
dad
fun
teared
of me.
up a couple times.
So yeah, that's my rating is a solid
10.
10.
804.
804.
I'm going to go with a 9.5. Because of one specific issue that we'll go into in greater detail later,
You
because
still
I know
remember
we
that
will.
guy?
It as far as, again, with the predictability, it's what the series needed. We needed to get back to what was comfortable. I'm not going to lie. I didn't hide my tearing up. At least twice, I lost it. I'm not too proud to say that.
What was your part? Like, what was the part where, you didn't know you were ready?
Yeah,
Well,
you're
that's
rating
because Santy's a real man.
I'm not
afraid.
afraid.
I'm just playing.
Nah,
These are man tears.
alright.
It's Doug tears.
It's Star Wars tears.
Star Wars tears. Star Wars tears.
Solo's
I got my thug tears that, like, they're in my eye. I just don't let them fall.
I'm crying because I'm angry.
My rating, shit. I mean, I give it a 10. It's like everybody said. I mean, parts of the movie. I mean, I haven't busted out clapping or been like, hell yeah! You see that? Yes, that's it right there.
Right, it was one of those where even if I was sitting by a stranger, I would have been like nudging him with my arm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, because I did that so many times, and not to lie, I mean, I did start to tear up a little bit because God, rest in peace, my Aunt Barbie. If she were still alive, she would have loved this movie. I thought of her most of the time, and but yes, 10 out of 10. It's what it needed. Predictability and all. I don't care. All right, ratings out of the way. What do y'all want to talk about first?
The piece of garbage.
All right, well, yeah.
That was the perfect segue.
Yeah, the piece of garbage.
You didn't even see it coming. They didn't hint to it. They didn't do shit.
And that's where I lost it the first time.
Oh,
It's
God.
like, oh my god,
It's like,
piece
the
of
garbage it is.
It hasn't flown in years.
It's the piece of garbage. And I think I mentioned to Matt at one point in the movie, that has got to be the most durable ship in the
Right.
Star Wars universe.
Oh, yes.
It has been
And-
through hell.
And no matter how convenient anything was in the story, they hit it. They hit it and they said, "This is why it's not convenient."
Yes.
They left no loopholes.
I think
It was awesome.
I think me and my dad first tear up scene was when Han entered the cockpit, and they had that camera shot of him of the front shot. I was like, oh
running
god!
through.
Everyone at the theater was like,
Ours too. It was great.
Santy, what is the one thing that keeps it from getting a perfect 10 for you?
Are we gonna go there?
You know what? Get the bad out of the way. That
Yeah,
way we can
Solo's
praise
dead.
the shit out of it.
That's why.
Okay, there's the spoiler.
Solo's dead.
Okay.
Spoilers, guys.
But if
remember,
you think about it,
No.
why did he go into carbonite in the first place?
Well, no, I appreciate it. I just don't like it.
Right. But why did he go into carbonite in the first place? Because they weren't sure if he was going to
He's gonna
come
come
back
back.
for the next movie.
yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it. It's just not the character I expected to go.
I just didn't see it happening this film. I knew it was going to happen at some point.
Honestly, I didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
I knew they were going to kill somebody.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was
I
going
thought
to
it was
be.
either going to be Leia or Chewie, which I could have seen Chewie die because I
Piss off a Wookiee. God damn.
Now,
Straight up
I said
300.
Wookiees
Straight
are
up 300.
thug,
Yeah. Straight up 300 style. Yeah.
And
Piss
I'll
off
go
a
ahead.
Wookiee.
I'll add on to that too because I gave it a 9 out of 10, and that is also my reason. Like
Yeah.
I understand it. Like he
get it.
said, I just feel like God, Han Solo. Like I was so upset about that, and I just feel like he deserved a better death.
but I feel like
That's all.
it creates.
It was symbolism. That's a
It-
great death. It
creates
It was
the dark side of our main
kinda
villain.
I'm
Well,
saying
and I will
the
give
hand
him
on the
that.
face,
No, and I'll give him that. I'll
That
give
was
him that.
symbolism.
I know, but I was just sad. Like Santy said, I appreciate it. I loved it. I wouldn't change.
I
any
wouldn't
movie.
change
I
it
wouldn't
at all.
change anything. It just made me sad when I was thinking about all the movies, all the moments we've had Han Solo, and I was just like, damn, and the dude dies by his own son's hand. I
Right.
was just like, fuck.
But
you
if the
know?
music wasn't so dramatic and it wasn't building up so
Yeah.
much and there wasn't so many explosions right beforehand,
Yeah.
you would have heard me going, no! Because you saw it coming.
Yeah, you saw
Yeah,
it.
my
You
dad.
saw it.
My dad, when he saw Han Solo like behind Kylo Ren as Kylo Ren started walking down the bridge, I could hear my dad's like whispering. He's like,
I got
Hey,
a feeling
he's-
about this.
he started like
Nope.
heavy breathing, and he's just like, oh my god.
I knew.
See, that was like-
I knew.
Oh, yeah, I started like doing the, damn it! No!
My foot's like,
Like,
don't.
It's just
don't-
not
was
what I wanted to see
Yeah.
in this movie.
it was right there, like, no fucking way, almost came out, like, projected out, but I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
I
You know.
literally thought to myself, I was like, they're gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just sad because we're not gonna see him anymore.
Right,
man.
but that ties into the perfectly predictable.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
saw it
Rest in
coming.
peace,
Which
right
is,
here.
Right.
which is
Rest in
actually
peace.
probably one of the problems I have with Rey learning the Force as strong as she has. Because he just went to the full dark side. And in that end battle, she was just able to
He was not full
I
dark
got
side.
this.
He's
He's
not
not
full
full
dark
dark
side.
He's not.
Well, for
Still,
one, he's
though,
not
he's
full
been
dark
trained
side.
compared to her.
But also, yeah, well, you remember the part where they're facing off and he's like, you need a teacher. I can show you the ways of the dark force. And she says the force. And she closes her
She
eyes.
realized she's like, holy
It's
shit.
because, it's like, my prediction, I don't know how you guys translated that scene, was that she was being led by the force. You know what I'm saying? Like,
She
it's not
was.
necessarily like that.
That's the true thing.
Yeah, like, the force was guiding her.
The
It was
only
helping her.
issue I have with that scene, not the same issue that you have, is that was the quick and easy path.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with the Force in this particular movie is the convenience of her being able to focus while being pushed back by a
That
lightsaber.
is true.
Well,
But she is not ordinary. We
Right.
know that.
Well, and
yeah.
we need I guess we just need to segue here. We need to have a conversation about her. Is she a Skywalker
Or a Solo.
or is she a Solo?
I think she's a Skywalker.
I think she's a Skywalker too.
And see, when we left the theater, I'm thinking she's got to be a Skywalker. But
throughout
on the way here, I got to think that she could still be a Solo.
But why would it matter? Both of them have Skywalker
No,
blood.
it does matter.
Yeah.
It matters a lot.
The reason I thought she
Yeah.
was Solo's kid was because they finish each other's sentences. She's really good around machines and the
Yes,
ship
that's
and
why-
everything.
that's why-
No. You know who was the best around machines? Darth Vader, though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Anakin was
saying?
great. No,
Yeah.
if she's a Skywalker,
But when they were finishing
it's
sentences,
pure blood.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
If she's
that.
a Solo, it's half.
It's watered down.
Not that matters completely, but from a story point of view, I think it's going to matter a lot if she's a Skywalker or a Solo.
I think her becoming, if there was a reason for her having the Force being so strong with her, it's probably because her heart is so pure that
Well,
there's no darkness within it.
See, I'm just
whatsoever.
torn, and I think that's why. And we may be completely off base about this, but I'm. If I were to lean in one direction, I'd say she's probably Skywalker, but I still have this little bit of doubt in my mind that she might be a Solo.
Well, I just feel like if she was a Solo,
They
there
would've
would have
mentioned it.
been some sort
I
of.
don't think they would have
mention.
mentioned it.
I don't
mean,
either.
Because they wouldn't have mentioned it till like the
Well,
ones coming
this
out.
is-
And well, at the end too, whenever she met Luke, Luke just teared up like, I don't know.
And I can't help but wonder if basically he had a kid, he knew about it, and he
Mm-hmm.
walked away because he didn't want the same thing to happen to his
Well,
kid.
and that's why Kevin and I are saying that she could still be a Solo. This is a universe where they purposely hide things like that to protect them.
Yeah, but they wouldn't hide the birth. Like, okay, Leia would know if she had had another child.
Yes,
That's what I'm
but not
saying,
necessarily tell her.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
she would
but
at
there
least
would've
Yeah,
been
but
been
no
then
no
Han
reason.
would have known.
She
Yeah,
would,
And not necessarily.
But there was
say
no
anything.
reason for them.
But
to
they
keep
wouldn't
that.
say
So
they
not
wouldn't say any,
necessarily.
but they wouldn't say anything
Not
to each
necessarily.
Be a
other
lawyer.
because she's from Jakku, where they
Yeah.
dropped her off.
They only talked about their son. Yeah.
So it's just that's the way in the way I've perceived the Star Wars universe. That's
And
how it
on top of that, Ren, Kylo, when he heard of a girl, he knew who they were talking about. And I feel like if she was his sister, he would have mentioned it to her. Right there when she was right
Or
there.
he
when
would
she
have kissed
changed
her
up.
first.
There you go.
George Lucas didn't write this script.
Shall we still talk about things that we find wrong with the movie? Even though I gave it a 10 there, I had a couple of questions that I
Sure.
didn't ask him.
Why not?
Like, Finn.
No, Finn talking about wielding the lightsaber. I mean,
Being a beast with a lightsaber right off? I mean, competing with Kylo?
I don't think
He didn't
was
really
a
compete with
Well,
Kylo.
look,
I
here's
think
something
he
you
was-
He
gotta think.
competed with Kylo.
But listen,
But it's an
Kylo Ren
awakening.
had gotten shot though.
Yeah.
Remember, he kept beating his chest. It's because it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like he was,
off
Yeah,
that.
he gave
he was
speed.
handicapped. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So there was an advantage.
Even then, I
that
felt like he
Finn
was
Right,
had.
but Finn didn't accidentally chop an arm off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Finn
Well,
rolled and it shut off, and then he turned it back on.
I
Yeah.
still
Is he a force
I know where
wielder?
you're going with that, and I think we're not done with him, and I think he's going... If he's not a full-on, he's a Force adept.
He was woken out of his,
Brainwash
trance kind of thing.
I did think about that. I was like that.
And Kylo Ren
takes
felt
a
it.
strong mind for that.
And
yeah,
I think there
true.
is some Force there. To what extent, I have no idea where they're going with that character.
And the other thing is, I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but it was in... I can't remember if it was with Rey or with Finn, but when they locked up sabers, the Crusader part, like this little part right here,
Yes, Finn.
it pretty much it was like pretty much touching Kylo Ren's hand, and like he wasn't getting burned.
Well, it juts out about an inch.
Yeah, but the way it looked like it was, I
Before.
saw that and I was like, yeah.
Well, in
camera angles.
splitting hairs like that, when I see it again on Sunday, I have to pay attention. It looked to me when they took Poe Dameron, they took it into Kylo Ren's ship, but when he got off on the Star Destroyer, it was a regular transport. And I can't believe that Lucasfilms would have missed something that big. So I've got to pay more attention when I go see it on Sunday. But it just jumped out at me that it appeared to me that he was getting off a different ship than he got on.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing I noticed.
Something else that I want to add about the whole Finn thing with the lightsaber is that we gotta remember that he's basically been trained as a kid to be like a fighter because he's infantry. You know what I'm saying? And if we get anything from that, like that one scene with that stormtrooper, that he's like, where the stormtrooper is like, "You're a traitor," and he pulls out that fucking staff and shit, like. We gotta assume that Finn has had training like this.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
gonna
I'm
have basic
like he's
combat
not
training.
gonna
Like
be
the,
like a freaking novice user.
It's like the Clone Wars episode with the Mandalorian wielding the black lightsaber and fighting.
Yeah, the dark saber. Yeah,
they have basic. He's gonna have all around basic training.
Yeah,
any type of.
I mean, he's not gonna be able to keep up, but at the same time, like I said, Kylo Ren had a handicap.
I actually thought that he died. I was like, really? I almost want to look over. I was like, really, gonna kill the one black guy in the movie?
No, I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't dead, man. And I just let's talk about Finn a little bit, man. Can we go into that?
Before we talk about that, about him not being dead, they gave the lightsabers a lot more limitations this time.
When it seemed like they made them bigger too.
Well, you saw them cut through, different things like trees and such. But when it hit
Kylo went ham on a ship.
Right, but it didn't just bury through the ship. It also didn't just wield through their skin like butter. It was like it was cutting them.
Yeah, and I don't know what I think about that.
Except with Kylo and Han, I mean, it shot straight through.
Well, yeah, because he jabbed it into him. A regular sword would do that.
Well, and Kylo's saber is
it looks funny.
It looks like it's going to blow up in his hand.
That's what because I think we had talked about that before. Like looking at it, like on the film and everything.
Looks mean.
It looked like it was
unstable.
Like, it was unstable. Like it wasn't quite right. It wasn't that perfect form of the blue or the green
I remember
or the red.
Like pictures and stuff. That's one of the words that they would use to describe is Ren holding his unstable lightsaber or whatever.
Well, and I wonder,
it's probably because of his fight between the dark side and the light.
And he's unstable. Boom, connection.
No, I wonder if it's because of his lack of training. Because Luke failed him, and he had to build his own.
That or who the Supreme Commander Snook.
I wonder who the fuck is that.
Before we go any further into that, Cody would like to talk about Finn.
And how awesome he was. He's probably my favorite character in the whole thing.
I was like, I realized.
Yeah, I just wanted to go into some of the new character introductions. I mean, we've touched on Rey and Finn a little bit.
Which this is Rey's first movie.
Yeah.
Her first ever movie.
Oh, first movie.
Yeah, that's what
first movie
ever.
That's
nice.
That's what they say.
I would say first big role. Because, I mean, I did look her up on IMDb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Does
every time they say that, it's you look in their history and they have.
But it's always been like a little one sentence
Finn.
type of thing.
Yeah, but Finn, I just loved Finn, man. Awesome character. He kind of reminded me of I don't know. His personality was kind of like a Han Solo to me, and the dude's hilarious.
You going back for like family or you got like a boyfriend?
Yeah, he's like you got a boyfriend, cute boyfriend. What's up?
He was kind of like clumsy, but it worked.
It worked.
He's like, what's this? What's this? I'm trying to make a plan here.
Yeah, and I mean, even from like...
I'm the leader now.
I'm in charge.
A lot of the conversation in that was real. It was real. I don't know how else to put that.
It was real.
Everything was real in that. It was almost like they gave him a script and they said, you know what, this is the general idea of what we want y'all to do. But it's like it was almost as if they were off the cuff on a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well,
They just interacted so well.
You do know, with the exception of Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill, no one was given scripts and lines until the day of.
Yeah, and then they're not able to take it home. None
They
of
had
that.
to
Right?
memorize lines right then, so there
But
might
like-
have been a lot of off the cuff.
Yeah, I gotta give it up to John Boyega, man, because I mean he did such an excellent job in this movie. Because I mean, even when you first see him, you don't know it's him because he's in the stormtrooper suit.
You kind of do.
But like, well, I mean,
From the preview.
I'm just saying you can't see him.
No, you can't see him.
I'm just saying, like, but you know it's him,
Yeah.
you know, but just the way that, like, the whole range of emotions, like that first scene where it's like, you know, the stormtrooper dies and he's like, oh God, you know, this was my friend or something, and then all the, you can just
The way
see
he was
the
walking
torment.
around all those
The way he's
stormtroopers.
walking, you could see the pain and, like, how
Because how many
scared he
times?
was.
How
and
many
shit.
times in every movie,
And he
when a
has a helmet
stormtrooper
on.
goes down, does no stormtrooper like, oh hey,
Never
buddy?
happens. And this dude's
Never
got this
happens.
helmet on, and you can feel that whole range of emotion for him.
I knew
You
it
know
was
what I'm
him
saying?
too. As soon as he
Yeah,
was like,
you know what he's going through in his mind. You know he's wrestling with some shit. Like, it's amazing job.
The trough scene with the giant water
Yeah.
buffalo hippo
That's
thing.
thirsty.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was
Okay.
awesome.
But he was like, oh, but I'm still thirsty.
But I still need water.
And how good was Oscar Isaac? Poe Dameron.
Oh, dude, was
Man.
awesome, man.
I want
Okay.
to see more
Awesome.
of that character.
I do
Right.
too, man. He was
They
great.
really made you want to see more Poe Dameron because, like, in the previews, he's kind of a clip, and then they've got all these figures of
Well,
him.
I
and you
honestly
don't-
thought we were done with him.
I
that
thought-
early.
I didn't
I'm like,
realize
what
he
the
was
hell?
he wasn't gonna be that big in it.
I was like, okay.
But
Introduce
again-
a new epic character in.
all the new characters were
At the one scene, whenever he just went all over like 8 TIE fighters and took
Yeah.
out like 8
God,
perfect shots on
was
stormtroopers.
and Finn's like,
what
that
I'm
is
saying.
an amazing
Like,
pilot.
when Han,
has to
Chewie,
be
and Finn are
related to
standing there
Wedge.
being called by
Yeah.
the stormtroopers, and then you got the X-wings coming in. It shoots all these guys
Just-
right next to them. And I
Right.
looked at Brent, I was like,
Right.
really?
That's one hell of a shot.
If he's not a force wielder, I don't know.
But then and then he flew
do
up,
that?
took out like 4 TIE fighters, went around, did like a loop-de-loop, 3 more TIE fighters out
If
there
he's
shooting
not
around.
forced to death, he is a.
He's
That was
so
awesome.
good.
Finn doesn't even care
He's
about it.
related
He's
to
like,
Wedge. If he's not.
that is an amazing pilot.
But
He's
now the
amazing.
first
I
scene where he
love
gets in the
this
TIE
movie.
fighter and it's hooked up, who called that?
Yeah.
Nobody. You were like, what the fuck?
You're like, oh,
Why-
they're out.
Why
Easy.
would you even tether a TIE fighter?
I gotta refuel it.
Well, it was probably it was probably.
I love it.
being
He was like,
charged or
oh, that's
something.
cool. I can take care of this, and he still can't like get it. Like, yeah.
I would say, I mean, I knew BB-8 was going to be really, really cool. But I didn't expect he was going to be that.
I mean,
Oh my god!
I
I
knew.
mean, he's like a perfect little brother to R2-D2.
I told you. I was like, BB-8's like my new favorite character.
He
He like,
doesn't-
how do you know you don't
Yeah.
even see the movie? Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't-
I
he doesn't
have
talk-
everything BB-8 I've ever seen.
I've just
So,
given you hell.
He doesn't beat R2-D2 yet for me, but
He
overall,
won't
man, he
ever
was.
For me,
but he's like
man.
R2-D2's Padawan.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. I'm gonna
that
tell you
little
guys what I
brother
told my
is-
brother.
Shit.
I'm gonna tell you guys what I told my brother on the way. Okay, well, first of all, if I could pick anything to take from this movie and be real, I'm not gonna say lightsaber on this one. That's a little too easy. I want a fucking real BB-8, man,
Oh,
and I
shit.
want to know I want to understand what he says, because BB-8 is like my new favorite droid. To me, I like him better than R2-D2 because, honestly, R2-D2 is a bit of a dick. Let's be honest about it. He's a dick.
And that's
He's a
okay.
dick. It is okay. I'm just saying, like,
BB-8
if I
was-
was to choose a personal droid, it would be BB-8.
But he was kind of like the kid friendly, like the jokester, kind of like
Yeah.
cool guy. Yeah.
Well, it's
I-
because he has so much personality.
Yeah, that is true.
I want like a little figure of him in just a still pose of him just
The lighter thumbs up.
lighting everything.
Oh, the C-3PO. He's like, oh, you see who it is? And he's like, oh, okay. And he's standing there.
There were so
Man.
many moments in the movie that everybody just cracked up.
Yeah.
And I think,
And I can't remember ever laughing in a Star Wars movie like that.
you know, one of the
me
best
either.
parts
Me either.
of going tonight is you were in a crowd of people that genuinely wanted to be there.
Absolutely.
You weren't in a movie theater of people that just wanted to go see a movie because that was the only one
Speaking of-
How many people
available
did y'all
this
have
month.
dressed up? Are y'all,
Oh, we had a lot.
We had a-
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Are all of us wearing Star Wars shirts?
No,
No,
I'm talking like dressed
Yeah,
up.
what-
I had my
What
book
kind of
bag.
fail is
Fail.
that?
I had my book bag. I mean,
No, but
Those
speaking
guys
of
are-
everybody in the theater genuinely wanting to see it, what did your mother say?
Oh, my mother was super excited.
So that-
Oh,
Jack-
so come to find out,
Did you just Jack Hole with that purple light with the Mace Windu
Yeah.
lightsaber?
here I
Jesus
was
Christ.
thinking my first Star Wars movie was
We'll take that
actually
later.
the third one. I thought it was Return of the Jedi. Come to find out, my mom took me in a carrier before I could even talk or crawl or anything to the second one.
Yep. Yeah, she told me that today.
So it was a treat for me to be able to take my mom to this.
Oh,
one.
it was, and that's why I'm so looking forward to Sunday. I'm going with the whole family.
Yeah.
I was
It's
actually
amazing.
waiting for a little Han Solo, "I'm your father" line in there. I was waiting for it.
Well,
but he already knew. So.
The Han Solo Chewie banter, like they're back and forth,
He's like, what, you're cold?
was epic on this one, right?
Yeah,
And, like
it
it
was
was
good.
like he's all like the other movies, he's always been like, yeah, don't give me crap, Chewie, whatever. But this time it was like a back.
I mean,
Hey,
Chewie's always had a personality.
Yeah.
But it's like it really came out. This
Yeah.
I just wish
She
they
was
had
really
made him look a
great.
little
Right.
older.
And
crossbow.
and the back and forth.
So much powerful.
Stop. Get it right. It's a bowcaster.
Yes.
Right.
Whatever.
The back and forth with
The
the
beast
bowcaster.
weapon he had.
No shit.
I love it because, like, yeah, Han had never
was
fired
like,
it
let me
before.
see, let me-
Han had never fired it
They've been
before.
together-
And he was like,
They've been
wait a
together for
minute.
like 40
Wow,
years
like, that's
now.
what I was mad. I'm like,
Why have we had all these problems? Like, look at this
Like, I
weapon.
like this.
Han was like, they've been together for 40 years,
They're
and
gonna
Han
be longer
first,
than that.
and then Han was like, hey, I'm
see
gonna
that.
borrow that real quick. Let me see it.
And that,
I like
He's like, I'm shooting people and they're falling down. You're shooting them and they're fucking flying.
and that comes into my one issue with Chewie. I don't understand why he still looks the same age. He was old.
He was
before.
gray as hell, dude. Did you not notice
There was
all that?
no. There, he pointed it
Yeah,
out. There was
they
a
aged him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
when-
didn't seem aged.
not on the
He was
front.
younger
It
than
wasn't on the
face.
front, but
It
there was a
was-
back view of
yeah,
him,
okay,
and he had
okay.
like a silver
I'll
kind
have
of
to-
Oh, yeah.
tint to him.
I mean, he's got to be what, 100 something.
Right.
He's
Oh,
gotta be
yeah,
100
he's super
something at this
old.
point.
No, he's got to be older than that. He's gotta
Yeah,
be-
because, I mean, he was full grown
Yeah.
back before the Clone Wars started.
150, dude.
Speaking
Or like a,
But
no,
he's-
right.
you know
Yeah,
that
Yeah, he was old.
They have Poe
then.
Damerons for like $2.
Yeah.
The Pop Fungo Poe Damerons.
What?
Yeah, they've got like 5 Poe Damerons. The Pop Fungo Poe Damerons for like $2.
What, because the boxes are fucked up or something?
No, the boxes look good.
It
I'm
is-
just,
Yeah.
I'm really
Oh,
curious
what are
about
they
this
doing tomorrow?
dynamic
Yeah.
between Rey and Chewie, and how that's gonna play.
How can she understand
Yeah, no.
everybody?
Force.
Well,
Think about that.
earworm.
Artist
Nice
translation
hitchhiker
fields.
guy.
Well, how does anybody...
I can only assume that with her being on this planet for so long and there being all the technology there was and being the massive ships that there were, that she's found technology on these worlds that have just taught her everything.
Well, and like Anakin, he just tinkers with everything when he was a kid.
Right.
And
But think of the data that's on one of those Star Destroyers.
Exactly.
One of those,
That's true.
like one of the
yeah.
down Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
My thing is, like,
Speaking
weren't
of
you on
those
the
images.
outside of it? Why aren't you on
Yeah.
the inside getting better stuff?
And what better home is there in a torn wasteland than a walker?
Than an AT-AT.
But those like let's talk about that for once. Just like the imagery and the background.
Oh,
I mean,
the
she's-
3D, as soon as they showed that ship, you're like, oh.
Oh,
the shit, right?
The
God.
shit.
Didn't it look like it
It was
was
just
about to come above your head?
massive.
I don't like
what
you
is
saying
this?
come above your head like this.
Yeah, like I was just trying to
Yes, I was that excited. I was
imagine,
like,
like in real life, like how big that thing actually is. You know what I mean? Like, I was
Oh,
just
it was
trying to
like it was
think
in
about
the
the
middle
scale.
of the theater.
Yeah, I mean, it was
You're
like
just-
ridiculous.
I-
Oh
And I
yeah,
think
that
that's
ship,
what-
that ship beats all those other ships probably on scale size.
No,
that video.
probably.
Oh no,
Nope.
there's still more than
Now,
that.
bigger.
what I will say
Well,
about
the
this
new-
one,
the what they call it, not the Death Star, but the
The Star Killer.
Yeah,
Star
I was
Killer.
actually gonna.
Yeah.
Which is
When we
actually
get a little
funny.
further
the
along, because I'm
scale,
gonna get.
that's what I was going to talk about. The scale of this movie felt real.
Mhm.
They were really coming and walking out of those ships. They were really in those areas.
Because they built.
They
those-
built a lot of that
those
shit.
Sets.
But I say that in the sense of like the first 3 movies, which are 4, 5, and 6. They're the third.
as far as
second.
we're concerned, 4, 5,
Anyways,
and 6.
the original trilogy felt like it was to size because a lot of it was, and this one feels like that. Nothing felt detached in this one. Even the guy that was trying to steal BB-8 on that 4-legged thing.
Well,
That
I bet you they built the.
I mean, I feel like that was on set.
I
every
bet you
part
they
of it.
built one that didn't move. Yeah.
Yeah, every part of it felt like you could touch it.
It's that Disney budget, man.
Right.
I want to know like what happened on Jakku.
Yeah, that'd be nice to know.
Yeah, like why was
what fight happened above Jakku?
Yeah, was it 1 or 2 Star Destroyers?
There's two.
Yeah, I think there's
And
two.
there were littered, there were X-Wings and TIE
AT,
fighters
TIE fighters,
littered
AT.
everywhere.
Which did y'all notice that when that TIE fighter crashed into part of the destroyer or whatever? You see like these kids run out and start trying
they
to get...
immediately
Yeah, and they
scavenged
started
it.
scavenging
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
second it stopped. I was like, oh.
I want to know what a
Hey,
portion
shit's
is.
real,
What
man.
the
Jack,
hell
man.
is that?
It's food.
Yeah, it's fun.
I know it's food, but like
That's as far as it. Just food.
whenever you put water on it, it turned into like a loaf of bread. I was like, okay.
Well,
My-
I was like, oh damn, she's cooking us some dough.
My question.
Well, Heisenberg out there on Jakku, man.
My question.
Jungle's real.
This question I have is more directed at Kevin and Cody to some degree because I know the rest of you haven't read anything deeper from old canon. What do you think about what changed and what stayed the same at the same time?
What changed and stayed the same?
Like
From canon.
from canon, Starkiller.
Considered.
Yeah, consider
That's-
yeah.
I mean, I like the way they did that, but I mean,
Starkiller
in
was
old
actually
canon, it was a
good,
ship,
too.
not a freaking planet. I mean, I like the way they did that, but specifically Ren. And we called that. We
Yeah,
were a little
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
We don't know about Rey yet, but change. I mean, the name to Ben.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like,
Oh,
really?
instead,
Wow.
it was originally
'Cause
Chase.
Was it?
That's Luke's
Yeah.
son.
That Luke's son's
Yeah,
name
Luke's
was
son.
Ben.
Yeah, Luke's son's name was Ben.
And he
Yeah.
looks to me like he has all the powers of like Anakin because he can control it without even thinking. He can walk
Exactly.
away
He
and it's
was-
still
he
going
held
on.
that blaster.
That
Oh,
blaster
I
shot.
Say,
Jesus.
that was amazing. Like, I want to say they've done a really good job of creating a good villain here. Because, I mean, even his nod to the Force was incredible, man. When he stopped that blaster.
And then just walks around.
I was like, I've never seen them actually just
Yeah.
stop, like, the actual, like, blast.
I knew he was going to be powerful, but when that being the very first thing you saw of him doing, I was like,
And that was early on.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that was early. That was the very
Yeah.
first thing. I was like,
of all the stuff that I've read from old canon, there are only 2 or 3 anything that have that kind of power. Revan, Bane, Plagueis. People with that kind of power don't
Plagueis.
exist in
it
this
only
universe.
it only makes me think, how strong is Luke now?
Yeah.
If he is just that strong, especially the way you saw him at the end of Return of the Jedi, it's like,
With like Poe, like that was the power that I was surprised. I was surprised about that. Not where he could read his mind, but where he could kind of.
Like, take out what he wants.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he was full on invading their minds.
No,
man.
that didn't surprise me. It's his control while doing
a
other
step
things.
over.
Yeah.
A step over.
Yeah, like when he stopped the blast.
And then he's
and then continued on.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
held it the entire
Yeah.
time.
Well,
that
remember,
kind
I
of,
pointed to it, and all of a sudden it went. And
that
we were-
kind of control is absolutely unheard
Yeah.
of. in
But
Star
at the same
Wars
time,
universe.
he did have those little tantrums he threw.
yes, and I
Where
think
he
I
got
that's
thought
pissed
was
off.
great.
I think that's the other side.
So
of
it was
I
that
thought
balance,
that was
or not that balance,
Yeah.
but that struggle of.
I don't think Luke could have done that.
Yeah, I don't think he could have either.
Honestly, it would have been one or the other.
Well,
Not
I
both.
don't know that he couldn't do it. It's that I feel like the dark side users have no hesitation in what they want.
That is
Where
true.
on the light side, they have to focus on what they want.
See,
Yeah.
and speaking of that, at the end of it, when Rey got her, she was like, "Oh, the Force." She focused for a second, and then the Force. Because in the books, if a light side user, they literally open themselves up to the Force,
Right.
and they let the Force guide them.
Yeah,
they let the Force do whatever.
No longer
and
really
then-
in control anymore.
And
Yes.
the dark side is easy and convenient.
You use the Force.
It is an impulse.
Yep.
So who's the big dude?
So good side, the Force uses you, but
Oh,
dark
he's
side,
not
you
actually
use
that
the
big.
Force.
The
no,
big
that's a
dude.
projection.
That's a projection.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I don't. He,
giant
he
titan.
shouldn't
That
be that
is-
big.
Supreme
No.
leaders.
The Supreme Leader.
Nobody really
Nope.
knows.
No,
much
that's
about him.
a really new character that doesn't seem
Yeah.
to fit any old canon characters or even conglomerations of characters.
Well, you know, when he was
But
like,
if
"Bring me Kylo," he needs to,
Well,
I need to
I
finish
saw
training. Like, so
some-
he trained. He's a Jedi.
See,
I mean,
Yes.
apparently
Or he's
his
a Sith,
face
I mean,
is not
okay.
like that by choice.
Yeah.
So
Or is he just really?
That's-
Well, there's a lot of theories out there that he's actually Plagueis.
Yes,
and that
Sidious
a
is,
reincarnation.
that he wasn't like he wasn't actually killed.
Plagueis?
Yeah, like he used like his because I guess he had he could create illusions, and there's a theory that he used that and Sidious didn't actually kill him. Like he just laid low and pretended to be dead and let Sidious because Sidious was actually a threat to him.
I guess we'll see because
But now that Sidious is gone,
because he can technically stay immortal.
And another thing that's interesting about Plagueis that I didn't know is, and even going back and watching, all the movies this week, is they're talking about how Plagueis was so powerful with the Force that he actually had well, I know they don't really talk about this anymore, but he actually had the ability to have midichlorians create life. Mm-hmm. So basically, he's responsible for Darth Vader's existence because he's the one that...
created him.
Yeah, the only thing back on the that Star Destroyer, it's called the Finalizer, and the only thing I've found is that it is approximately the same length as Vader's. What was it, the Executioner?
Yeah, something like that.
It's approximately the same length.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
What do you guys
that's
think?
what kind of scale we're looking at.
What do you guys think about the whole Jedi Temple that Luke was creating and stuff and teaching?
Well, he was
striken down.
Well, he was going to find.
Yeah, he was going to find.
What
I'm
he
really
was
curious
going
what
to find
planet that's
the original
supposed to be.
temple.
Which is so? Are we saying that he found it? Is that why it wasn't dark, or it was so hard to find? Like it was so hard for them to find out where he was?
I think he found it and he was already starting in teachings and stuff because they were killing bodies. I mean, there was bodies and stuff there. So I mean, it wasn't. I don't think there was a group of Jedi just chilling there like, oh hey man,
that's
we're
going to be
waiting
a
on
really
you.
Where'd you see bodies at the end of the movie?
When the Ren striked one down before they all just stood there in the rain.
Oh man!
Oh,
well, that's a foreshadow moment. I have a feeling
that was like in a big muddy area kind of thing.
Speaking of all those Ren, where they at?
Well, I have a feeling we'll see more of them. Future movies. No, the Luke thing.
It sounds to me like he was trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, and then
he
completely dropped the ball.
Well, and he feels like he's responsible, so he ran and hid, which he did in old canon. Not the same exact circumstances.
It's just like Yoda, man.
How did he lose control? I want to know how he lost control of Ben to.
Well, it's not like he was his puppet.
Any kid of Han Solo is going to be defiant.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention too, they like Leia said, like we shouldn't have. My only regret is letting him go or whatever.
Well, and
he could have mommy and daddy issues. That could be the biggest thing,
Well, and the way I look at that, it is a catch-22 because if Leia had tried to train him, it would have been a mistake. But he probably wouldn't have been able to tap the power he has unless Luke had showed it to him. So it was kind of a catch-22. So, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out. I mean, I can kind of see where we're going. I don't see a showdown anymore between Rey and Kylo. I see a showdown between Luke and Kylo.
Do you think Luke will lose?
I think Luke will have to lose.
Because of Mark Hamill's advanced age, yes.
Yeah.
Because at some point, these original characters are going to have to go.
And that's why I think...
Do you think it's going to be like a Obi-Wan situation where he's like, you strike me down and he just kind of gives up?
Absolutely. Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if it'll be just like that, but I mean, I have no doubt that Luke will become one with the Force.
Yes, and I think Luke will become one with the Force sooner than any of us would like.
I think if that's the case, I would think Luke would pretty much be in the midst of battle and tell Rey to run and tell her that the reason why is because you're not. But
I think the Force is so strong that in Luke that if he were to become one with the Force, we would see more Jedi. We would see that awakening happen more often.
Oh, it would be. Epic.
I think it would be like a blast. Yeah. It would go out.
People wouldn't sit down. People would stand up when Luke's one with the Force. My other question is if Rey is a Skywalker, are we going to see Mara?
Yeah, like who's your mom?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, who's your mom?
Because if we see Mara, Rey's power is completely explained.
Yep.
Why? Because she's a Force wielder as well.
It's as pure as it gets at that point.
Yeah.
We're talking Anakin level power.
She's another assassin of the Emperor.
Yeah, and she's Force user. Not really light or dark.
Well, and we talk about Anakin, but you also had to think about how they always said Luke would bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, it was Anakin that did it.
Yeah.
Well,
there was lots of good.
Right, but if you think about it, when Darth Vader goes away, that's kind of an imbalance on the dark side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I've
So then
always
Luke-
thought about that.
so
There's
then
no
Luke
balance
essentially
if there's not
created
both
Ren,
sides.
who then became the balance for the dark side.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting into a lot of speculation there, but we'll see.
Well, yeah.
What was that one part where I looked at you? I was like, "Isn't that a little Hitlerish?" Like, what was the?
The Empire's
First Order?
always been
The
Emperor.
First Order, the speech.
Oh, you're
That's
talking
what
about
the
the
First
speech
Order
where it
speech.
panned out and it was like...
And they all did like the like.
Well, they did. Like,
It's actually the first thing that came to mind for me with that was Killzone, which is
He almost sounded like the Emperor.
yeah.
Did y'all notice that when he started to yell? I was like, oh, shit.
He was getting a little excited there for a speech, in my opinion.
Dude, that was another thing too. He was kind of if like Kylo is kind of a big deal. Like if I saw him do the shit he did, I don't know if I'd be as mouthy.
Tarkin did the same thing as Darth
Yeah.
Vader.
Yeah, I would.
I'll tell you what, Grandma
If I was
Tarkin...
Kylo Ren and
It's-
that dude talked to me that way, I'd be like,
But it's kind of like it's kind of like on base where you have your generals and then you have the government equivalents.
Yeah.
Like they speak to each other with mutual respect.
And with Tarkin in a movie in the 80s, he wasn't going to be as mouthy as the movie in 2015.
See, that's the thing. I don't remember him being that
Well,
mouthy.
he
but
was for the time.
Yeah. I guess the
maybe that's what throws it
Yeah.
off. Because he was like, "Hey, Kylo, fuck up, man."
And there is, if you ever feel like you need to read a Star Wars book, there's a new canon book called Tarkin that delves into his life,
Very
and
good.
he is a mouthy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He,
It's actually got Vader in it too.
yeah, and
Good
he
book.
will put
And that
Vader
dude
in
threw
his
Kylo under the
place.
bus too. Well,
yeah.
Kylo didn't think we needed BB-8,
Absolutely.
fucker.
But that's what it is. That's why you have that type of separation. You have one that's a Force user and you have one that's essentially a civilian.
And they keep each other.
And they
in
keep
check.
each other accountable. Like
And-
you can't have just one going off and doing a bunch of Force shit. Like
I did enjoy that though when Kylo got back and he's like, we know where they're at. Your people can do it now. Like
Yeah.
like Kylo Ren had his own little group,
Agenda.
and then
Right. I kind of there. Phasm. Thought she was gonna be
I
able to
really
do
thought that was going to be a bigger
Yes.
I
I
don't
don't,
too, man.
I don't think we're done with her.
I thought Captain Phasma
No,
was
yeah,
gonna
she'll
have
definitely
more.
be
He left her in the garbage.
Yeah.
Which was
I
awesome.
love
Which was
all
awesome.
if they left her in the
jokes.
garbage, she most likely
Yeah.
blew up.
If I took
What are the
anything
Trash
away,
compactor.
What
I
are,
was
the,
like,
what are the little small droids called that just drive around? The little black ones that look like trash. That
The
look
little, like,
like little lunch boxes.
I know what
I
you're talking
know-
about.
yeah, I know
The
what
black
you're talking
chocolate.
I
They
think
had-
they just never called them like rat droids or mouse
Well,
droids. or
they had that. There was like the nod to that. There was the nod to the trash compactor. There was the nod to everything. Every one of these spaceships having some
There was
way of
even a
blowing
nod
them
to the
up.
hyperdrive.
Right. I mean,
they hyper that was more than a nod. They
Now-
hyperdrived every fucking weird thing.
Oh, also, I do like the new hyperdrive sequence thing.
Oh, the animation?
Yeah.
That's awesome, yeah.
we
where
didn't
they
talk
actually
about,
show the tunnel.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did talk about though. They hyperdrove everywhere, right? So they hyperdrove to the big star thing, whatever. To go see Luke, it took them 2 seconds. It was the shortest hyperdrive trip they took the whole
Well, I
movie.
mean, they edited.
But it was the one
Edited.
place that couldn't be found.
I want to say that to follow up on him talking about the scale of the place, it did actually feel like a galaxy.
Absolutely.
Because in the previous ones, it felt like there was, even though they mentioned all these places, there was only like 1 or 2 planets they were at. This one's like, boom, we're going all the way over here for this.
Well, and thankfully, I feel a lot better with Disney and the old canon and new canon situation because they're obviously pulling old canon
Oh,
stuff.
hell yeah.
They're just working it the way they want to
Yeah,
work
they're,
it.
they're not doing it from the books. They're like, okay,
We're going to
have
take this because it was cool.
Yeah.
But we talked about this at lunch today, and you said that you didn't think Han Solo was going to be as reckless as he used to be. Hyperspacing through a shield
Oh my
onto
god,
a planet?
dude! That
No,
was
If anything,
You know
that's
what?
more
I
reckless.
love what he
thought
did
about-
I love what he did with Leia too. He's like, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, that's you know what? I wanted to look down at you, but I was too
crazy.
focused on it. But as soon as he was like, I could tell you, but
You're not gonna like
you're not gonna
If
like it.
anything, he's gotten more reckless.
I was like, yep, that's Han's just his fuck it meter's just empty. He doesn't care
Like you
anymore.
hyperdrive onto the surface of a planet, like
Through
this
his
is unheard
shield.
of.
You hyperdrived out of
A ship.
a ship bay.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
But
when,
the thing,
how is that going to happen? I don't ask the questions.
but that was the cool.
ask
That
him
was
till
the
it's
cool
done.
thing with like him and
Oh,
Finn,
yeah,
because
it's
Finn
double.
was like, "Oh yeah, I just work sanitation. I didn't know what was going on."
He's like, what?
And yeah,
Well,
but
you
Han
know,
was like,
sanitation-
"What?" But at the same time,
Bullshit
Han
the
was
bullshitter.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Han was like, "Are you kidding me?" But fuck it, let's do it anyway. Like,
Yeah, and he
Han
was
right there.
That's
with
why
us,
he
like-
reminded me of Han though too. He's like, look, huh? He's like, we'll figure it out. And I was like, oh god.
But Han was like, "All right, let's go."
I'm excited to see more between Finn and Poe
yeah, me too.
because
man.
that went really well.
Yeah.
What
it did,
What do
it
we
did.
think about the Han and Leia relationship? Did they ever get married? Or are they estranged? Are they separated? What
I
the
think
hell?
they did.
I think, yeah.
I mean, obviously they had a kid.
I
Yeah.
think they separated because of whatever
What
happened with
What
Ben.
happened?
Yeah.
Because she said, I shouldn't have let him go. That's when I lost both of you.
Yeah.
So I think whatever she did, the loss of that,
Kinda
it just
drove
kind
them
of
apart,
it just drew them apart.
I don't think they were ever married because she did make that statement of, every time you ran away, I always thought about you or whatever. Every time we fought,
Maybe they just did
I-
maybe they just did the Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn thing.
Well, and that's what I wonder. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking is maybe they were married and they just did their own thing.
I think my
And then once Ren happened, it was...
Yeah,
whenever Han was just like, "Why are we going over there? I have to see an old friend." I was like, "Friend."
Well, I fully expected that to be Leia, and it wasn't.
Oh yeah, it was the glasses lady.
Crazy lady.
Speaking of,
Which hold on real quick. That showed like the respect Han had kind of built, I guess, or he was still known because she was like Han Solo, and everything
Everybody
just
shut
shut down. Was like
I fully expected him to be like, "Oh shit."
he was just like, "Hey." But everybody heard that name and they were like, "Fuck, is it real? Oh, it's him."
He's alive?
Yeah.
What?
So go ahead.
That dude owes me money.
when they
You're not
when,
getting it.
when Han then went to
That was a good scene.
that planet to go talk to the friend and stuff, how did one Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber, Anakin's, how'd they get that? Because last thing
She
you saw
doesn't
that,
explain it.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
last thing you
explained.
saw, it was at the bottom of Cloud City. Like who could have went? and
Because
got that?
didn't she say something like? Go ahead.
In the book,
It's on the Death Star.
somehow or another, the Darth Vader people they think they get a hold of his lightsaber, which they don't know if it's his or not. So that could have been.
If anything,
Maybe not. I don't know.
Right, but I
I
mean, if you
think
have
Luke left it
scavengers in
there.
a desert planet, you could have scavengers in a well-populated area.
That's what she
Well,
she was like the
Actually,
she was like the safe place for all of the.
Well, when they walked in, you saw all the flags.
Yeah.
And
I
you
just
see
thought
the
about
main. You remember the main flag? You
Yeah.
see, the main flag.
She is like international waters.
Switzerland.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I saw. The first flag I saw was the Boba Fett flag. I
Yeah,
was
the
like,
Mandalorian flag. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, where are they going? But then you see all these other flags and stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. And it's just like you said, it's like a watering hole for all of the.
It's the new cantina. It's the place where everybody goes, regardless of who hates who.
I will
So,
say
I just-
say this though with that lightsaber, I'm really hoping when they show when Luke is training Rey, more of those flashbacks. Because when she touched it and stuff, I was like,
she
damn.
had a force vision
well, and see, I wonder, does she have that gift?
of what
like Anakin.
Oh no,
No. There
you're talking
is
about
very
something different.
few Force wielders have the
Talking about
ability to
touching
touch
it, yeah,
things
touch things and see,
and
where
see its
they've been.
entire past.
Oh,
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Chicken pie.
I wonder if she has
Well, I don't-
that
Yeah,
gift.
that'd be
know.
nice.
Because
Well,
they've never touched that in anything that's not a book. They've never touched that.
Well,
I wish
they-
I could remember
they
what
had
that book
that
is called.
in Dark Disciples because they actually have him, and I need to finish reading that.
Yeah, that was a very good book. So
So much excite going on right now.
Yeah.
let's
I want to go drink.
Did
let's wrap it up.
mint
Did
mints?
Yeah, I feel like I need a shot for the goodbye of Han.
For Solo.
Yeah, I'm gonna
To
go.
say goodbye.
I know, man, and it's
Pour one out
like
for my solo.
we didn't get a cool like little funeral for Han or anything, you know?
Yeah, you don't get to see like a hologram of him at the end.
Yeah, you know, like didn't get to burn.
You know,
his
That'd
body.
be really cool though if he shows up as a Force ghost. That would be really
Not
cool.
gonna happen.
No.
I know.
Well, I was just like that
but
whole
it'd
thing
be
blows up,
cool.
and I'm just like, well, yeah.
It would be nice.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those where like, oh, I didn't see his dead body.
Yeah. Because for a
Yeah.
minute I was like, I
It
was
would be
holding
nice.
on to it.
It would
and I
be
was
nice
like,
if we
nah,
had a body
I-
so Leia could have that closure.
Yeah.
But
I did like that though. That Leia since his death. I liked seeing that scene. Like, she knew.
But anyway, let's close this up. Takeaways?
Go see that shit.
Yeah, go see it.
I'm gonna go see it 5 more times.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it a bunch more.
I mean, okay, so we went and saw it tonight in IMAX. We have just a standard IMAX here. We don't have the big, huge 70mm or
well,
whatever.
actually, we do, but we didn't see it.
We do at the
But-
Space and Rocket
and
Center, but it's a
so
dome.
Parabolic dome.
And I will
Not-
see that.
And I'm gonna go see it
Yeah.
there
You
too.
have fun over there, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm gonna go see it there too. But their sound quality is not the same, and I wanted something that was gonna just like when the X-wing fight, you know,
They all
when they
swooped
flew
in,
by,
yeah.
when they swooped in, I wanted my seat to shake.
Well, I'm gonna see it in 2D on Sunday. So I'll be
One
able
more
to
thing,
compare.
since you said that whole thing, how about that scene where Rey flies the Millennium Falcon for the first time, and they're shaking those 2 TIE fighters?
Man, she's
My
breaking
God,
stuff.
I was just like,
my
oh
dad
my
was
God.
like,
I was
stop
looking at
breaking
this-
it. I was like,
Holy shit! Like she was so good.
I think me and him almost looked at each other and was like, "Oh,
Oh,
shit!" When he was
God.
like, "Hey, my gun's stuck in this position."
she
Flip
goes
Yeah.
through
Oh,
there,
man. Yeah,
flips
that
it,
was-
flips
she
it
was
right
like,
in
hold
front
on.
of him. I was like, oh my God! Like my
I
jaw
like-
dropped.
when
I was
there
just-
was a
thought
pause
she
when
was
he
gonna
saw
break
he was
the
like,
hand.
oh wait. I was like, shoot man, let me take him, shoot.
I thought she was gonna break it.
Well, yeah,
There's
see, I
so
thought
many elements of her
when she first
from other.
was gonna go through the destroyer, like the broken down destroyer, I was like, "Oh, she's gonna hit
Oh
something."
my gosh.
But
yeah.
she was,
thing.
I mean, she was bobbing and weaving.
And then
She was whipping it.
Those first scenes though, man, my dad was like,
she-
oh my God.
She was
Oh
named
God,
Anna.
don't do that.
She was whipping that big old
At the whole
coop.
I actually thought Han was probably like passed out or something like that.
That's
And
kinda
Chewbacca
what
was
I
sleeping.
expected.
They're waking up like, what the fuck's going on in here?
Right, I expected him to come out of one of the bottom panels like, oh dear God.
I don't know. I told
She's-
Cody. Did y'all know one of the gangs that showed up, the Asian?
Yeah, you said the raid. I was like, what the
They're from the raid. It was the main guy from the raid and the Mad Dog dude from the raid. You remember the movie The Raid where they went into the building, the apartment building?
I know.
And they do all the fighting and
Yeah,
stuff.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
it was the
and-
main
yeah.
character and the Mad Dog dude from that. which was
Speaking
cool.
of
Yeah.
Matt, leave it to Lucasfilms to make a quality toy about bounty hunters or gangs, whatever you want to call them, that are in the movie less than 5 minutes. That toy we saw at Walmart with the red head and the dot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
that
an
was in that
epic.
one scene.
It's an
So,
epic toy, but
Before the movie comes out, we're
Yeah.
walking through Walmart and we see this new character of the Black Series, right? You know, the 6-inch Black Series.
Yeah.
We're like, who the fuck is this? And it's one of those dudes with the red mask with the kind of the center
Dot.
circle. And
It's
we're
like-
like, who is this? And they were in the movie all of 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what the hell?
When they had the big sucking thing on the ship and they hyper drove out of it, yeah, they split it apart.
So-
that was great.
I
movie.
just gotta throw it out. I gotta throw out that I've never been a big fan of the TIE Fighter. But that First Order TIE Fighter,
Badass,
damn.
Man, I like how he's like,
badass.
man, this thing is.
Oh, yeah.
This thing's got
And
some
I
kick.
probably wouldn't have given it 2 shits about it if Poe Dameron hadn't got in it and been like, oh shit.
This thing flies.
You never played any of the TIE Fighter flight sim games, did you?
I own them because I bought them as part of that big, huge Steam sale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to
Those-
have one on my PC back then. I loved it.
I actually like
Joystick.
the whole tie line and the ships that the Empire has way better than the.
I didn't really get I was like, all right, so it's a cool ship, whatever. But after seeing Poe just going off like in the little tunnel thing and on the TIE fighters, when he's like, oh, the ship is badass, I was like, okay, like it means something.
Like he has a respect for it.
And the thing is that's like 10% of what else there is. I mean,
Oh
those are-
yeah, there's so many.
those are
TIE
badass.
Oh, but those
but
new
the rest of them
X-Wing-
are
There's
really
so many
badass.
different TIE
Those new
fighters,
X-Wings
TIE
were dope,
everything.
too, though.
I like it, yeah. Whenever they closed
the one
up
that
and
Poe
Like
had.
TIE
when he
bombers,
closed it up,
whatever
went through the
else.
hole, and then opened it back up. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah, and I brought that up too because, well, I guess my clothes were whatever.
Well, we need to wrangle this together. 'cause I
Oh,
can see
right.
we'll
It's
go
just
for hours.
I do just take away. First of all, Movie's fucking awesome, like they said. Go see it. It's amazing. It's everything I want it to be. But I'm really curious to see more about Rey and figuring out who she is. Because I actually saw a lot of like Anakin Skywalker qualities in her. You know
she
what
has
I mean?
an innocence about her.
So it's like, she has an innocence. But the way she pilots it, because Anakin Skywalker was like the best fucking pilot ever. Her knowledge of everything, like how to fix shit, like just fixes it, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's her grandfather, but, you know, which side she's on, we'll see. I personally think she's Skywalker, but, you know, you guys have different theories.
Well, we'll have to see.
Who knows?
I mean, it really, I don't
There's
know.
a lot of questions to be answered.
We gotta wait until the beginning of the next
So, anybody have anything else to add before we close?
Yeah, I think we got there at 2 o'clock. 1:30.
1:30ish.
1:30.
We literally
The
got
movie
there,
started
sat
at
down,
7.
and started playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will do it again.
In RB.
Tomorrow if I had to.
Had all them Star Wars lovers. Just
We had a
Cards Against
great
Humanity,
day.
y'all.
No,
It was
they
just
were, some of them were watching, but
a lot
literally.
of them were talking about Dr. Shmoo, and I just wanted to punch him in the
We had
face.
a
How'd you
really
feel
good
about
day,
that
actually.
Star Trek trailer before?
Oh,
Star Wars?
let's talk about that.
We need to wrap this
Fucking
up.
Star Trek trailer
Yeah.
right before Star Wars.
Well, I mean, it's
Well
produced by
played,
J.J.
J.J.
Abrams.
Right.
Well
It's
played.
like
Touche.
I paid for this too.
I will say though,
I
out
believe
of all the trailers, I'm sorry, but that Kung Fu Panda trailer for me was awesome.
That's because you are Kung Fu Panda.
That part when at the end when he's like, "What's this button do?" and he straps it because he's like,
What did I
thought
say?
that was-
What
He
did I
did.
say?
He looked at me and he said, "Chris."
I thought that trailer was cliche, but
Actually,
anyway, this is about Star Wars.
But seriously,
This is
about Star Wars.
man.
If nothing else, I will say I haven't felt this just excited and hyped up and just wanting to just talk about a movie till I burst since the first Matrix. I mean, the first Matrix. You couldn't
Blew your
wait to go
mind.
back and
Oh,
see it
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
I can't wait to go back and see this again.
I can't either.
They're gonna take my money so hard.
I'll go back
And you
see
have
it
to go
by
back to
myself.
work tomorrow and not tell anybody.
Right.
Hey,
Hey, you know what? I will respect no spoilers for
Oh,
a week.
absolutely. This needs to be no spoilers.
I think that was the thing, like walking out of the theater and seeing all those people look at us. Because I know my face was just lit up. And just seeing everybody look at us like, oh, this is what we can expect.
Spoil anything
I was
for anybody.
Brett
I just
Suarez.
gave them the thumbs up. I was like, that's all I'm gonna say. Because they were like, how is it? Because like no one's
Nope.
saying it. I was just like, that's all I'll say.
I have two bosses, one person above me and then one person above them. They're both seeing it this weekend too, and they said, "So Monday we're gonna call you in here and we're just gonna talk about Star Wars." I was like, yes.
Kevin?
Man, awesome movie. Go see it. It's great. I'll see it probably at least 10 more times.
Oh, when it reaches that dollar theater,
It's
It
over.
won't.
I bet it won't.
It won't.
I bet it doesn't.
It won't. Star Wars movies never make it that far.
That'll probably, but this is probably one of the ones that I'll buy, like the special edition.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I will.
Oh,
not,
absolutely.
Whatever they come out with,
I will not
I'll,
get this on a digital copy from the app store. I
I actually think
I'll get a steelbook.
Oh, I'm getting a steelbook.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually,
this will, whatever
buy
they
the
come out
collector's
with.
edition that comes with the lightsaber.
I actually think I'm going to wait until the trilogy's done and do it that way.
Oh, I'll end up buying a box set too.
But I have bought so many copies of Star
Really,
Wars.
man?
I'm gonna get the
Really?
BB-8 set because you know there's gonna be
Hey,
one.
you want to talk about box sets? Sitting
Twist it
right
out.
there, that Harry Potter chest.
Mm-hmm.
That is year 5 HD DVD box set.
Yeah, and I bought one of these too, and I had to take it back because all but one disc was HD and the other one was Blu-ray,
Eh,
and they didn't have another one to exchange
Worth
it
it.
with. All right, let's wrap. Kevin, end it with something.
It'll be clean as hell, dude.
May the force be with you.